There's something wrong with me, I just don't know what it is. A little background information on me first. I am a soon-to-be 20 years old female. Parents are divorced. I have officially been diagnosed with ADHD, major depressive disorder, major social and general anxiety, insomnia. I have been informally diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and why it's informal is because my shrink couldn't definitely say I had it because I was underage and my brain wasn't fully developed. I'm reaching out on Reddit because, well, I don't know who or what else to do. I have a long track record with mental illness, since I was probably 13. I'm seriously messed up more than people know. I am certain my cause of death will be suicide. There's nothing wrong in my life, I have a semi-stable job, a place to live, family that love me, but that wasn't always the case. My mom and dad haven't been together since I was like 2, so all I've known is living in separate households. My mother was a loving, down-to-earth type person, while my father and stepmother were more of the strict, hard love type of people. For the longest time I resented my father and stepmother for their parenting of me because as a child it confused me to the core. One week I was in a loving environment, then the next I'm not. And that fucked with my head. Thankfully I have come to terms with the shit I dealt with as a child. Then I went into my teenage years, and fuck, to say it was hell was an understatement. To keep it short and simple, high school was hell. I went through identity issues which spiraled into many suicide attempts and hospital visit on top of other things going on. All of that has led me to who I am today. Someone who feels like there's nothing to live for. I keep thinking it's leftover shit from teenage years, but it isn't, cause I dealt with that shit. Now I'm in this sort of vegetative state where nothing matters. It's sad to think the only reason I'm alive right now is because I can't bring myself to leave my mom with such sadness. I don't live for myself anymore, if that makes sense, but it angers me because I have nothing to be sad about, and that's why I can't talk to anyone about it, because they will just say, well, what's causing this? And the answer is I don't know what causing me to feel like this. A part of me really feels like there is some underlying mental disorder that my doctors haven't noticed yet. Something doesn't feel right, if that makes sense. If this keeps happening, it scares me to think of what I'll do.
In year 1 I would tell my friends that I was poor so they would give me food. I wasn't poor, they just had better food. This ended in them telling their parents. They called social services, then social services coming to my house, and I said that I didn't say that, and they were always asking me for food, and my mom even backed that story up, even though it wasn't true, and they got suspended. I'm in year 8 now, but I don't regret anything.
I've been smoking weed for 3 years, as a minor. I'm 16 now, but I've been smoking since I was in 8th grade. I have a lot of issues with mental health, but I've never been able to get a diagnosis because of my parents. When my dad was around my age, he was addicted to hard drugs, the addiction stemming from some painkillers he got after surgery. Because of his childhood, he won't let me get diagnosed or get meds. He always says how he's so proud of me because I'm doing so much better than he was at my age. I feel terrible because I'm not doing good. Academically, I'm in the top of my class, and I don't really do anything else illegal. Weed just really helps me. It makes everything hurt less, and all my thoughts just kind of fade away. I can't even begin to think of what would happen if he found out. I'm sorry, Dad, I love you.
I sometimes steal my roommate's food even though I don't have to. That's it. I noticed that every time I'm alone in the kitchen, I have to steal some of their food. I live with 2 girls, and once I took shampoo and shower gel from one and used it once. The thing is, I don't have to do that in complete secrecy. We share everything. We buy food together, and even if sometimes we don't, we still share it. We don't buy cosmetic together, but we encourage each other to freely use others' stuff if needed. So basically, it comes down to taking like an olive from a jar or piece of cheese, etc. late at night usually. I don't know why I do that, I just do. Notice that sometimes I do this at my own and at my boyfriend's house. I don't know if that even counts as stealing, but in my mind it does, and sometimes I even have a certain rush while doing it, and it's always done secretly. I never stole from stores or people, nor would I don't even like to borrow things. I wouldn't eat the whole ass meal, nor would I leave anyone hungry by it. I just take small pieces and consider it my crime. I'm posting it here because I couldn't tell this to anyone, nor even my boyfriend. We know each other for 10 years and we talk about everything, but I just can't do it. At 16, I worked for a pro sports venue and I stole thousands from them. Got a job working for a company that handled parking for a professional sports team working on the weekends. They gave me my own parking lot quite a bit from the venue, but close enough it would always fill up. I had a sign that said $20 and red tickets to correspond those sold. But what wasn't on the sign was that you got a carpool rate of $10 with 3 or more, but you had to know that as they didn't advertise it. I had blue tickets for those. Customer would drive up, I'd tell them $20, hand them a red ticket, and they parked. Customer would drive up, I'd tell them $20, they'd say, "We have 3 people," so I'd say cool $10 and hand them a blue ticket. Quickly figured out that I could tell the latter $20, hand them a blue ticket. And pocket the $10. I did this for my junior and senior year of high school. Easily pocketed over $7,000 as I bought my first car with the cash I saved. I remember each shift being completely terrified that I'd get caught as I'd have hundreds in my pockets. Underwear, yeah, I was that paranoid I put it in my underwear.